welcome. This is episode 2, and I'm excited to be back again talking about the 4 agreements. Here, I'm going to go through the book again as I would be reading it every single day on whether it's on LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram. Somebody asks me for advice on success or lots of areas of physical body, dating, being famous, financial success. And I'm going to show you guys how I go through my own books to find wisdom for whatever it is that you are looking for. Last we left off, we were right in the beginning. This is kind of like a book club on steroids, legal steroids. All right. The result is we surrender our beliefs with whatever it is that we're agreeing with in society. I call this process the domestication of humans. Looking into your lives right now, what agreements about the world or about how things are done, or society, or perhaps it's the culture or religion that you grew up with, or even within just your family structure? Which agreements are you currently agreeing with, going along with, not standing up for that you don't agree with actually? You're agreeing out of comfort, or you're agreeing out of you don't want to get ostracized from the society or the group of people that you belong to, or you want to make your parents happy, or your religion happy, or your culture happy. What are those things? It's fair for you to call them out for yourself. I'm not advocating that you immediately go from, oh, well, I disagree with all these agreements that I have, to rebel, although that wouldn't be a bad thing. That's not what I'm advocating for. It's for you to go in there and notice what it is that you're agreeing with that you don't necessarily actually agree with. What are you moving along with? And then figure out how come you're doing so. Like what is it that you're getting? Are you getting approval? Are you getting not getting kicked out of the group? Are you getting comfort? All these things are possible things. So for you, you're going to have specific comforts. What are those comforts? You're going to have specific belongings or wanting to belong. What are those ones specific? And belonging to who specifically? Is it your family? Is it your culture? Is it maybe religion or just society in general? What are those things you want? I want. We want to call these out, put them like write them down, put them in 3D, because when you can see it, it stops happening unconsciously for you. And instead, you can start consciously doing it in a moment and consciously undoing it if you choose to do so. But if it's just underlying and unconscious, you're never going to be able to change anything regarding this. So I call this process the domestication of humans. And through this domestication, we learn how to live, and we also learn how to dream. One of the biggest blocks and contexts to your abilities to create whatever it is that you would like, whatever your goals are, irrelevant of what they are or how small or how big, is that it gets stuck under a bubble of what we believe we can actually accomplish. Though often it's not even what we believe what we can accomplish, it's what other people believe just about being human in general. Like nobody here feels that they can fly. And a very, very, very few, speaking of flight, right? A very few people of us even believe that we can dunk, even though that's not flying. That's just 10 feet above. Not nobody. Obviously, people think that they can dunk, but likely you don't think that you can dunk because of the limits you've placed on. These are outside people's limits. You think you're going to live to be 70 or maybe even 100 instead of like 900 because of the outside influences. In human domestication, the information from the outside dream is conveyed to our inside dream, and it creates our whole belief system. The entirety of all of your beliefs are in the context of being human. But furthermore, you get taught things from your mom, your dad. You get taught things from your teachers. If you grew up religious, from the people in your religious group. If you're in a big cultural place, like the people that were the heads there. And then as we grow up, then it's like what the mayor says, or the supervisors say, or the presidents, governors, etc. The outside dream teaches us how to be human. It teaches us what's acceptable. It even teaches us what's even possible, seemingly. And it teaches us how to be human. We have the whole concept of what is right or wrong, and thus we learn to judge but we judge based on our opinions and our beliefs, which aren't even, for the most part, our opinions and our beliefs. So if one person thinks something's right and somebody else thinks it's wrong, who is actually right and who is actually wrong? Children get domesticated the same way. The same way you got domesticated, the same way we domesticate animals, dogs, cats, horses, any other animal. You get punished and you got rewarded. In fact, you probably punish and reward right now, whether it's if you have a family with your children, if you have significant other with them, other family members, with society, if you've got a business, for sure you're rewarding and you're punishing, right? We train our children, all children, not even your children, whom we love so much, the same way we train domesticated animals, punishment and rewards. We're told, you're a good boy, you're a good girl. We do what we're supposed to do, or what we're told, or what would make us good, instead of bad. And when we don't, you're bad. You're a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. You're a bad girl. You're a bad whatever adult, right? When we're grown up and we're at work and you get a write up. Was flying in from LA, doing some stuff there with a couple of Lakers players, and flew into Phoenix. And as I was coming in down the escalator, there was a child. He was walking, so I'm terrible with ages. So I don't know, 2 to 3, maybe he was 4, but he didn't want, the escalator was so high. It was like a 3-story escalator. If you've been into Phoenix Airport, it's like a really long escalator. And he wouldn't get on it because he was afraid and he was screaming, like, I don't want to get on it. His dad was like, I'll carry you. And he's like, no, I'm gonna. He was just really making a scene. He was just really animate. He didn't want to, and he wanted to go to the elevator. I don't know why they didn't go to the elevator. Maybe the elevator was far away, but he wouldn't, and he didn't want to get on there. And I immediately like was thinking about this passage. It's like, I wonder if he's being told he's bad. I wonder if people are going down the escalator going, "Oh, that kid's a crybaby," or "Man, he was a baby," right? Kind of calling him soft, like he's got a whatever the judgments from other humans were. And I recall as I was going down the escalator, I was like, I want to just go back up to him and tell him it's okay. Like, how come he doesn't want to go down? And not, I wanted to be somebody that wasn't making him wrong for not wanting to go down the escalator. And maybe I was the only one out of the 50 or so people that were there that wasn't judging this kid. And spoiler alert, I have no clue how he got down the escalator. Went down the escalator and he was still up there when I was down there. I could still hear him screaming. So was he being told he was bad? I don't know. I don't know his parents. I know his mom like turned around on the escalator and ran back up. Was she gonna run back up and like, be frustrated? Was she gonna give him like attitude? Was she just gonna snag him by his ear or arm? And probably not because it's public, but maybe just pick him up and go, "We're going down." Let him scream. And there's no right answer. Like you might be like, "Oh, I just picked him up and we're going down." Where it seemed like the dad was attempting to get his buy-in. How many times have you done that to other people? You're bad. You're a bad spouse. You're a bad partner. You're a bad employee. You're a bad friend. You're a bad brother or sister. Or how many times have you done that? How many times has that been done to you? Because when we go against the rules, we do get punished. A huge problem with, say, me, you, everybody, is we reward people when they do what's within our value system, regardless of what that is, and regardless in the area of life. And we punish them when they go against our highest values in our value system in any area of life, work, love, everywhere. We get punished many times a day right now. Go try to order a drink from Starbucks. If they don't like your order, they're going to judge you. They're probably talking smack about you. Come in and try to order a sandwich without dirty sauce, and I'm going to do the same thing to you. Probably. No probablys about it. I'm 100% going to do it to you. So we get punished and we get rewarded often. Oh, you ordered a cool ass sandwich or whatever. You said hi or you held the door open for somebody. We get rewarded. And the thing is this happens so much that soon we become afraid of being punished. But we also get afraid of not being rewarded, not getting a reward from somebody. The reward ultimately is based on the attention that we got from our parents or from other people, siblings, teachers, friends, potential lovers, or the lack of those attentions from those people. And we soon developed a need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. Look at yourself right now. What are the things that do not inspire you, the things that do not light you up, that you do not feel like laughter and inspiration from, that you do? Why do you do those? It's probably hundreds of things a day, a week, a month, thousands of things a year, hundreds of thousands of things, millions of things over your lifetime. Why do you do those? Each one's going to have a different answer, and they're all going to boil down to you wanted to be loved, or you want to be rewarded, or you wanted attention of some sort. You wanted to feel a part of the group. You wanted to feel a part of something with others because the rewards feel good. And we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get that reward. In fact, you probably don't you dare ask for mustard. Speaking of judgment. And the thing is, right now, today, look after you listen to this. Just think about what you're doing today. What have you done today? What have you done with the intention of you did it because you wanted? Look at me. So I'm dressed up nice. I dress up nice for this, but dress up nice regularly. I used to dress up and have bow tie, and I'd be because I wanted people to look at me and think like I'm well dressed. And not that I'm not doing that now, because for sure when I'm dressed like this versus in an Ike's t-shirt, although I do get great treatment when I'm wearing an Ike's t-shirt, but people treat me differently when I'm dressed like this than when I'm dressed in regular clothes, even in an Ike's shirt. So why am I dressed like this? Why are you doing what you're doing right now? Why are you showing up the way that you're showing up for? It's very, very, very few people that even do a handful of things a day that wasn't because of attention, but was driven by inspiration and love and appreciation of self. Even like a handful of things, like less than a couple percentage points of people on the whole entire planet do just a handful of things a day out without the need for a reward from outside of them, because we always have that fear of being punished and that fear of not getting a reward. So we start pretending to be what we are not. I used to dress up and it wasn't me. Now I dress up because well, I got the clothes custom fit and I'm really, 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 my body type, clothes off the rack don't fit. So I started buying nice clothes because of the clothes you can get fitted. I like how I feel. It's so comfortable, things like that. But when I first started getting dressed, it was solely to impress you. Yeah, you. And I don't even know you, but I wore it to impress you. You'd see me walking by. I'm like, damn, that's one well dressed, short, bald dude. I did it to impress you. And it was not. I did it to, I had my second girlfriend ever. She was a fashion designer. And she was like, Ike, you can't dress like that. Like, be with me, people. I'll get kicked out of college. Not really, but she did say some things like that. And so she started dressing me, and I was doing that to, I don't want to say appease her, but to like impress her. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I'm fashionable. And then to impress other people, I would wear suits to baseball games and football games where nobody wears suits to those things. Although I was at a Giants game the other day and I was wearing something very similar to this, because now it's me. But back then I did it so people can look at me and crazy things. We start pretending to be what we're not just to please others and just to be good enough for someone else, for anyone else. We try to please our parents, we try to please society, we try to please our church or our social group or our culture, our workplace. And so we start acting and we pretend to be what we are not because we're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of ourselves being rejected. We're afraid of the thing that we're taking lessons from, or we're putting other people's values as the filter for us. And then we're always disingenuine. We get the fear of being rejected. It becomes a fear of being not good enough. And eventually we become someone that we're not. It's all a projection. It's all pretend. We become a copy of our parents' beliefs or society's beliefs or a religion's beliefs or your workplace culture beliefs. All of our normal tendencies are lost in the process through this domestication. And then when we're old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. And here, like, we're still like 2 years old at this point, and we're already not what we are. We're already holding ourselves back to not be punished, to not be rejected, and to get rewarded, but more so to not get not rewarded. Adults around us say, don't do this and don't do that. And we rebel and we say no, and then we get told we're bad. But think about it, even though maybe when you're a kid, you were told, don't do this and don't do that. You get told this all the time, whether it's by the government or by your work or by the people that you're in partnership with, your lovers, your family, whomever it is, routinely being told, we are not this, and so we are bad. We rebel because we are defending our freedom. There you are as a 2 year old, like, no, I want to be me. We want to be ourselves, very little, and the adults are big and strong. In the future, we're still little in comparison to our workplace, the government, and we can't really rebel because they're big and strong. After a certain time, we're afraid because we know every time we do something wrong, we're going to be punished. What are some things you are not doing right now in your relationships or at your work or even in your place of worship? with your partners, your lovers, your children, because you are afraid that if you do something wrong, you're going to get punished. The domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We start domesticating our own self. We start watering our own self down. We start limiting our own self. We don't need society to domesticate us anymore. We don't need our parents to domesticate us anymore, or even our jobs, or even the government. We're so well trained that we are our own domesticator. We are auto domesticated frequently. We'll join a new group of people, not knowing maybe fully what their beliefs are or how that group of friends work or this work culture works, place of business. And we automatically just domesticated ourselves. We don't bring our own selves. We can now just domesticate ourselves according to the same belief systems that we were given and using the same reward and punishment. And we do it the same often. Look at the last couple of years specifically in the world. There was a lot of my value system is better than your value system, you're bad. On all sides of the equation, they're saying you're wrong and you're bad, and you're saying they're wrong and they're bad, based solely on whatever, however, you were domesticated growing up. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief system. We reward our own selves. Look at the things, that goals that you have, whether it's weight loss, success, business success, going for your goals on your list, or finding an amazing partner. We reward our own selves and we punish our own selves based on whether we're doing a good job or a bad job. Every freaking time you think about your goals or feel about your goals or eat something you told yourself you weren't going to eat, or you didn't work out when you said you were, or you go on a date and you blew it, or you go to an interview and you feel like you sucked or you didn't get the job, or you start a business and nobody buys it, or you do a video and nobody, you get like 5 likes on your post. You punish yourself. This is like a book of law that rules our mind. Without question, whatever is in that book of law for you, whatever is in that is our truth. It's your truth. We base everything on this book, even if these judgments go against our inner nature. So, where are you punishing others in your life regarding what rules, what beliefs? Where are you punishing? Like, look at who are you punishing right now? Is it the government? Oh my God, I hear so much about governors this and presidents that and presidential candidates this. Is it your bosses? If you have your own companies, are the people underneath you, your coworkers, your employees, I guess is what people call them. And where are you punishing yourself? If you're fortunate enough to have a list of your goals with you, I have mine in my pocket right now. Just pull it out. Look at your list of goals right now as you're listening to this. Where are you punishing yourself? And then ask yourself, where do you find yourself getting punished the most? Whether it's by the outside people, the world, or yourself, or both. Where do you find which areas are you getting punished the most in? He goes on to say, even moral laws like 10 Commandments or whatever religion you're a part of, even if it's something as mind freeness as say Buddhism, we program in our mind these beliefs and we're still domesticated. This isn't to say that being religious or having a faith that is guiding you towards something and helping you is bad. You're just domesticating yourself even within those things, even if those things are spiritual or amazing, even if they're right. It's not whether it's right or if it's wrong. It's that you've domesticated yourself through an outside system. And it's irrelevant if it's right. It's irrelevant even if it's right for you. You're still domesticated by it. One by one, all these agreements go into your personal book, and that becomes how you dream, the way that you're able to achieve goals or not, the lack of your dreams if you are having issues with that, how relationships show up to you, how you show up for yourself, how your body shows up, how you talk to yourself, how you reward and how you punish yourself, and so forth and everything. It controls your whole entire literal world. Your world is these beliefs. It's the box, it's the context that you're in. And the only way to get out of that is to increase your context. You can't increase your context from within this book of laws that you wrote for yourself based on what you heard from every single other person. There's something in our minds that judges everybody and everything. It judges the weather. You're like, oh, it's a great day, or oh, it's a terrible day. And sometimes it's the same day for somebody else. You judge your cats, your dogs, your pets, everything. You judge everything. Your inner judge uses whatever it is in this book of law for you to judge literally everything, everyone, every experience that you have, and everything that we do and everything that we don't do, everything we think and everything we don't think, and everything we feel and everything we don't feel. Like, when's the last time something quote bad happened, but you didn't feel bad about it? You judge yourself for it. Probably like, oh, I should feel bad. Or something good happens, but you don't feel good about it. And you're like, oh, should I feel good? Like, should I be celebrating? Should I be celebrating someone else? But you don't. You judge yourself for it, even though you don't actually feel good, and even though you don't actually feel bad. Every time we do something that goes against this book of the laws, the judge within us says we are guilty and we need to be punished and we should be ashamed of ourselves. This happens to you many times a day after day, year after year, for your whole entire life until you can take control and be like, oh, wow, I'm doing that. You have a judgment and you're like, oh, I'm judging myself right now. Just write it down. Write down the judgment. Take control of that. You write it down, you make it real, and then you can actually start having control over it versus having negative self talk after negative self talk about it. Who cares if you ate a cheeseburger if you said you were going to be on a diet? Who cares? You're the one judging yourself, and so you beat yourself up, and then it makes it bad. But in reality, there are people that eat cheeseburgers and they don't judge themselves about it. You probably have areas in your life where you don't judge yourself, but other people would judge themselves about the same exact things, all because we have a different book of law system, each and every one of us. There's likely 8 billion of them going on right now. None of us are the same. There's another part of us that receives the judgments, and that's called the victim. The victim carries the blame, the victim carries guilt, the victim carries shame. I see this in comments on social media all the time. It's like guilt, shame, blame, guilt, shame. We say, poor me. I'm not good enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not worthy of love. Oh, poor me. Or whatever your versions of that are, but it's likely very close to this. And then you're internally, you're like, yeah, I know I suck, or whatever. You agree. And this is all based on a belief system that we never, ever even chose to believe. We were just told it's true, and then it's true. The beliefs are so strong that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control our lives, even as an adult, even on your deathbed, likely. Whatever goes against this book of law will make you feel funny sensations in your solar plexus, make you feel fear. Fear of breaking the rules of your book opens your emotional wounds and it recreates your past where you were punished, where you had this emotional poison within you and you had to reconcile that within yourself. As a 2 year old, as a 3 year old, as a 4 year old, 6 year old, I recall being punished by my teacher when I was in kindergarten. When I was in kindergarten, I've been first grade, so I was six-ish. And I finished all my work. I turned in my work, and waiting for people to finish, she said, "Oh, just wait for people to finish." And I was like, "I'm just gonna go and play on the playground." So I just walked out and played outside. And class gets back together, and like, "Where's Ike?" And they look out the window. Ike's out on the playground, and they grabbed me and like, "What are you doing? You told me to chill until everybody's done." So she probably didn't say chill. So I went outside and played. I was bad. Principal had to talk to me about leaving classroom, and I get now from safety they don't want just kids to just walk off. But I wasn't told, oh hey, you know what? It's not safe. At least let us know you're gonna go outside. They're like, you're bad for you wanting to go outside and play while everybody else was doing the work. No, you're bad. You're bad. It wasn't about, oh, it's very creative. Cool. Next time if you want to play, just play inside because we don't want you running outside. I was bad for that. And from 6 years old, I'm like, oh, I can't just do stuff like that because everything in that book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. And that's the biggest problem there. Look at how many things you've done that you even can intellectualize are wrong, but you do it anyway. Society does anyway. Your family does it anyway. Your culture does it anyway. Your religion does it anyway. It's because it makes you feel safe. This is why we need a great deal of courage to challenge our own beliefs. Because even if we know we didn't choose all these beliefs, it is also true that we agreed to all of them, even the ones we didn't choose. The agreement is so strong that even if we understand the concept of it not being true, we will still feel blame, guilt, and shame will still occur if we go against these rules. Just as the government has their book of laws that rule society's dream, tells you what you can and can't do, like literally and figuratively, the book of laws also rules our personal dreams. All these laws exist in here. It doesn't exist in here because in here you know what you want to do, but in here is like, but we believe them, and the judge inside us bases everything, our whole entire life, on these rules. The judge says we're a victim, you're bad, guilt and punishment, either internalized to ourselves or when we see somebody else doing it. Think about how many times you see somebody on social media and you're like, oh man, that, and fill in the blank, whatever you say about them. Why are you judging and punishing them? It's within your book of rules. And you're just judging somebody that you don't even know based on something that you're seeing. How many times at work or just walking down the street? Oh my God, I can't believe they're wearing that. Oh my God, why would that person be with that person? Etc. True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True injustice is paying more than once for each mistake. Think about how many times you pay for one mistake that you've made. The answer is thousands and thousands of times. You're recreating past mistakes, like, and you're still judging yourself for something you did when you were 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 or 40 or 50 or 60, all the way. You do the crime, even though it's arguable maybe it wasn't even bad anyway. But you do the crime, you do the time, and then it should be it. But that's not how it works with us and the judge inside of us. You do it one time, and you're bad for life. You're terrible for life. So, how many times do you pay for the one mistake? Look at some things that you're judging yourself about right now that you can't seem to shake, that it recreates in you often. How many times have you paid the crime, paid that penalty over and over and over again? How many times has it hundreds, thousands? The human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. The only one. The rest of the animals pay once for every mistake they make, but not us. We have a powerful memory. We make a mistake, we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty, and then we punish ourselves. If justice exists, then that one time should have been enough, and we don't need to do it again. But every time we remember something that we did, we judge ourselves again, and then we're guilty again, and then we're like, throw the book at him again. If we're in a relationship, they also remind us of mistakes. Your parents, your religion, the culture, society always reminds you of your mistakes, right? Somebody does one thing in society one time, no matter how low or how freaking egregious this is, and then they get judged forever. Oh, that was the guy that did fill in the blank, even if they did the time. And then we punish ourselves and they punish ourselves and we find ourselves guilty again. Is this fair? How many times do we make our partners, our children, our employees, our parents pay for the same mistakes they did? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them again and we send them all emotional poison. We feel at the injustice and then we make them pay again for the same mistake. Is that justice? The judge in the mind is wrong because the belief system, whatever your book of law is for yourself that you created, is wrong. And so the whole dream is based on false law. Your whole dreams are based on things that are wrong, things that you didn't even choose, but that you agreed to. 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our minds are nothing but lies. And we suffer because we believe these lies. In the dream of the planet, it is normal for humans to suffer, to live in fear, and to create emotional dramas. The outside dream is not a pleasant dream. It is a dream of violence, a dream of fear, a dream of war, a dream of injustice, a dream of inequality. The personal dreams of humans will vary, but globally it's mostly the same stuff. If we look at human society, we see a place so difficult to live in because it is ruled by fear. It is ruled by fear over the lies that we each tell ourselves. Nobody is particularly right or wrong. No group, whatever your political party, they're not inherently incorrect. Either ones, or all, there's two main ones. They're not inherently incorrect because everything's based on a lie. Every single decision from every single human is based on lies, and we believe those lies to be true. Throughout the world, we see human suffering, anger, revenge, addictions, violence in the street, and tremendous injustice. It may exist at different levels in different countries around the world, but fear is controlling the outside dream. We'll stop right there. I'm going to segue to the comments here. And like I said, I don't know how to just be like, okay, we're done. Go to the comments. So we're done and we're going to go to the comments. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. I already commented on the mustard thing. 100%. If you ask for mustard and no dirty sauce, I'm going to judge the hell out of you. based on my beliefs and my book of law. It doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong because I'm saying this. It just is what it is, and it's based on my own experience in my own book of law that I made, which the book of law says no frickin' mustard goes on a sandwich. Okay, ask for mustard. Let's see what else we got here. What's up, hey blind guy? All right, and that's all we got for today. If you want more free things, a great resource I have is learnfromike.com. Just go to learnfromike.com, sign up for the newsletter. It's complimentary. It's my give back to the world. You'll get tons of emails with useful things, things that you can act on today. You can read a quick 3-minute email and just practice that today. And then you can attend the Learn from Ike talks that I do every other Tuesday. Those are also complimentary with the subscription. So I'll catch you there. Catch you next time. In the end, just remember, it doesn't matter when it's only a matter of time.